The NBA's MVP race is going down to the wire, with a handful of stars in the mix for the league's most prestigious individual award. If we're being honest though, there should only be two. Two years ago, you guys roasted me for saying the NBA's 65-game rule was terrible. But this year's MVP race is exactly what I was worried about. Again, for the record, I completely understand why Commissioner Adam Silver's office wanted to discourage teams from resting healthy stars. And there are ways to do that. But tying award eligibility to an arbitrary number of games played was always a disaster waiting to happen. Cade Cunningham and Jaylen Brown are fantastic players enjoying career years for inspiring, overachieving teams. And they deserve praise for that, including in the form of All-NBA recognition, with Cunningham worthy of a first-team selection. But can we stop lying to ourselves about either player being on the same planet as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokic? Shai is competing with prime Steph Curry when it comes to the most efficient 30 points per game season ever, while Jokic is basically averaging a 29-point triple-double, leading the league in rebounds and assists per game, and posting the best advanced stats ever recorded. By comparison, Cunningham and Brown are averaging 25 to 29 points on below average efficiency while playing solid two-way ball and generally filling the stat sheet. Again, great seasons, but not historically great, which is what they're up against, or at least what they should be up against. A left knee injury sidelined three-time MVP Jokic long enough to have him on the precipice of disqualification, as the Nuggets superstar can only miss one more game to remain eligible for MVP and All-NBA consideration. Reigning MVP Gilgeous-Alexander returned from an abdominal injury early enough that he still has 5 absences worth of wiggle room remaining, while Spurs phenom and Defensive Player of the Year favorite Victor Wembanyama is down to just 3 absences left. If an injury-related setback takes Jokic, SGA, or Wemby off the ballot, it'll be a travesty. If you believe team success should weigh heavier than individual stats, then it's true that at the time of this recording, Cunningham's Pistons had the best overall record. But compare the 4 stars in question when it comes to how their teams perform when each of them is on the court and how each team's performance swings whether they're on or off, and the arguments for Shai and Jokic only grow louder. Look, if voters had every option in front of them and still chose Cunningham, then so be it. I would disagree, but at least it would be a fair contest. However, Cade, let alone Brown, winning MVP by default would be a farce. If a player's performance is so special that he deserves to be in the running for major awards despite missing a quarter of the season, so be it. Let the voting body make that determination, especially when legitimate injuries are involved. Let voters decide whether 60 games of Jokic was worth more than 72 games of Cunningham, for example. The debate's about more than just the MVP race. Scottie Barnes, Chet Holmgren, and Rudy Gobert are all having awesome defensive seasons. But would anyone say those guys had a better defensive year than Wembanyama just because Wemby's games played total dropped from 65 to 64? Of course not. And that's the point. The league already entrusts media members to vote on awards that could have massive financial implications for players and teams. Let those same voters use their judgment rather than eliminating players prematurely. I promise you, common sense would prevail, as the only time voters rewarded an MVP candidate who played less than 79% of his games, which is what the 65-game threshold represents, was when Bill Walton won the award in 1978. Preventing Jokic or Gilgeous-Alexander from competing for the same award nearly a half-century later would be a disservice to the NBA, not a win for star availability. If that's the case, the league might as well start carving an asterisk in the Michael Jordan trophy.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button.